to interrupt this really aesthetic, really great day in my life, but I'm gonna pause it a few times to talk about how our movie opening uses and challenges contraventions and how it represents social issues. So I'm gonna talk about it. Charles and I chose to use this social issue because it's highly relevant in the people around us, especially our peers. Since we are a younger age, people are finding out about social media and getting accounts and stuff like that. It's a really relevant issue since there is a rise in social media and technology. We wanted to show that it's not always safe to be texting people. Somebody could be behind a screen because you don't know them in person. They could be lying about their identity or their age or other things that make a danger to your safety. So much of our communication happens through technology, especially with cell phones. It's so easy to just text somebody. We showed this in our movie by having Damien text Nova, not knowing anything about her, meeting her on a dating app, and it turned out that Nova was not who she looked like, and she was a terrible person. So, emotional engagement. So we thought it would be really good, and it really did turn out engaging, and it showed our social issue perfectly, the dangers of meeting people online. So yeah. We challenge conventions by making the killer a woman. So basically, I feel like in most movies, the woman is not depicted as a killer. She is depicted as not as powerful, not as strong. So that's really what we wanted to put into our movie. Instead of Damien being this terrible guy that is always shown in movies, that the male is a terrible person and all this stuff and he's evil, especially with like issues like meeting people online. Instead, we wanted to use Nova, and she has the power, she has the evil abilities of being online, and we had her use her beauty to reel Damien in. Nova looked very innocent and very pretty, so that people would kind of look past what she actually is and not really see what is going on in the beginning. A lot of power, as I said before. So we did not follow the conventions of that. Usually it's a male that is a creepy person online or hurting somebody or who has the power, but instead we used a woman. So going into a little more depth about our product, we showed this social issue by having Damien find Nova on a dating app and texting her from the dating app saying that she was very pretty and that they wanted to hang out. Damien does not know who Nova is. Nova also does not know who Damien is, so they don't know each other. This is an issue, clearly, as we show in our movie opening. Since they don't know each other, they could be anyone. Nova's lying about who she is, and she says, sure, come over. And we wanted to also make it seem like she's done that before because it was so easy for her. So pretty, and nobody would have suspected it from her because of how powerless and normal she looked. That in our movie to show that anyone could really be the most unexpected thing that you think. I did a lot of case studies to come up with our social issue and to put our social issue in our movie and how to show it. So two that really stood out to me were Criminal Minds and Dead to Me. Criminal Minds was about two teenage girls who didn't tell their parents they were messaging someone online, and they went to hang out with the person. The person said they were a teenager, changed their complete identity, and had a woman pick them up in a car, and the woman was working with the other person who was kidnapping the two girls. The two girls then couldn't be found by their parents because the parents didn't know they were messaging people online. So we didn't go that far to be kidnapped, but we did change it up a little bit by not using teenagers, by using adults that are still being blindsided. Did a dating app instead of just messaging someone online, and we did Nova killing Damien instead of a guy rolling over two young girls. Dead to Me helped me to put our social issue into our movie. A really good thriller. It's one of my favorites. It is a TV show. It challenges the convention that women are powerless. It challenges this by having the two girls, the two best friends, kill the husband. Even though the stories aren't very similar, the way the two girls act in Dead to Me when they kill their husbands, it's very secretive, and that's very similar, and that's what I wanted Nova to be like. I wanted her to be very secretive and very unknown, like mysterious, and that is really what is shown in Dead to Me thriller. And I think it goes along with our social issue because it shows that you really never know who you're in contact with, and that technology isn't always a safe space to go to talk to people. I hope you liked my day in my life. Just to recap what I just went over in the little bits that I stopped the video, my social issue for Matched was you never really know who you meet online. Even most of the time, it's not safe. A challenge conventions by putting Nova in power and making her the killer. I used case studies, Dead to Me and Criminal Minds, to integrate into my movie and help me. Social issue of meeting people online in our movie by having Damien text Nova off of a dating app and ask to come over, and then the night does not go how planned. So that's the end of my day in life. Hope you guys had a great time watching. Bye!